Okay, good afternoon, evening. It's 6 o'clock, May 20th, 2019. Time to call the City Council, Common Council meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Allen?
Here.
Mr. Austin?
Here.
Mr. Blankenship?
Here.
Mr. Akers?
Here.
Mr. Buchan? Mr. Richards?
Here.
Mr. Wertz?
Here.
Sir, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Mr. Wertz, would you do the prayer and pledge, please?
Bow your heads. Father, we are grateful to our military men and women around the world who protect all of our freedoms. Also, we must remember all of the branches and people who served our awesome country this Memorial Day weekend. Be with our city officials who are working to protect our health risks for Franklin. Remember the first responders, police and fire departments, and all city employees who provide the many services, and our Franklin City Pool being open. Be with the Discover Downtown Franklin as they prepare for the strawberries on the square and the farmers market, a fun weekend of events. Father, be with our fantastic city as the council and mayor carry out the fiduciary responsibility of our city, and allow a safe weekend for all people of Franklin. Amen.
All right, thank you. It's nice to see a big crowd at the city council meetings. I know most of you are here for the preservation awards, so we've got a rule that you have to stay through the whole meeting. You can't just leave.
No, we don't.
All right, so we'll just get started with that one. The presentations, Franklin Heritage Annual Preservation Awards. Danny Causey.
Thank you very much. I'm Danny Causey with Franklin Heritage, along here with our Executive Director, Rob Schultz. I'd like to thank Mayor Barnett, our city council members, and attorneys and staff for having us here tonight. We'll try to keep this brief, but as you know, our city is so wonderful. We do have a record number of award winners this year, and I think everyone is here besides one winner, so it's really a great turnout. So thank you all for coming. I'd like to invite the mayor down. As you get your award, please come up here in front of this lectern that says City of Franklin. And the mayor and Rob will bookend you for a photo opportunity to receive your award. So with that being said, we'll just get it started. So thanks to Jared for helping me out with this. This is one award that we don't necessarily get to give out a lot. Us being a historic preservation group, it's you got to build a pretty cool house to get a new construction award for a historic preservation award. So with that being said, I'd like to invite up Joseph and Alyssa Bontrager for the best new construction in an existing historic neighborhood. And Rob, if I could hand you this. And Joseph, when I went to visit Joseph, he told me his father actually built this. So we included Sam Bontrager on there. If you don't know, this is over on Graham Street, and they did a wonderful job, we think, to fit in the historic character. So if you guys live right here at Josh in the front row, he'll get your photo. Thank you very much. All right, our next award, we're actually not able to be here this evening, but everyone in this room knows the impact that this building has had on our city already, if you haven't already felt it. There's 3 photos up here. It's one of the largest buildings in our city, the garment factory, so we'll give a round of applause for Todd and Billy Venus. And that was the best adaptive reuse. We actually have 2 winners of that award this year because there was 2 huge properties that were both done. So our next winner is going to be B2S Life Sciences. They have done an absolutely wonderful job with this building. You can see the facade, if you did see it, it's right across the road, you couldn't miss it. But Alex Davis is going to be accepting that award today on behalf of, and if Lori'd like to come up too, you're welcome to, it's up to you. On behalf of all B2S staff. So we'll give him a round of applause as he comes up. This building has been all kind of, it was a horse livery stable, a Chevrolet dealership, and now a very interesting science business. So, thank you, Alex. All right, so our next award is the best renovation of an existing historic structure. We actually are going to have two winners of this award, but the first one is going to be Amy Richardson and Stephanie Northern. I'm sure most of you here have enjoyed the fruits of their labor already. It's one of my favorite breakfast and lunch spots here in town, but it's Main and Madison Market Cafe. So if you'd like to come on up. I think Amy wanted to recognize a few other people, so she's welcome to do that if she'd like. Do you want to say anything, Amy?
We've got Rafferty Construction with us, and they were our general contractors. We've got Jerry Rafferty, we've got Jeff Proctor with us, and it couldn't have been possible without them. Their input and their creative, they collaborated very, very well with the architects. Danny, I want to say thank you to you too, because you did a great job with a lot of the facade and with a lot of the colors and everything like that. But they also collaborated just in unexpected ways that we didn't dream that a contractor would do. So we're grateful.
Thank you, guys. He was the guy that didn't like it. Every time I came over, he had to do more work. So I don't think he liked me very much. But that was Johnson County's first hospital, and now it's one of our best restaurants. So congratulations. All right, our next is also the best renovation project of an existing structure. And that's going to go to the Minton and Casting families for the job that they've done on 164 East Jefferson. It doesn't even look like the same building. So they've done such a wonderful job. We have some junior award winners here, it looks like. So we'll have you guys come in. We got Kyle and Josh Minton and the Minton girls here. So give them a round of applause. There's a newer tenant in the bottom. It's called Terry's Treasures. So it's a new antique and vintage store, in case you didn't know. All right, we can tell who the boss is on this project. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. So the talk of the town right now is RFD Franklin, and that is our next award winner. So this is an interesting award. This is the best new addition. So everyone here is very familiar with this building. It's the old City Hall, and before that, the old post office. And John Talley and Lisa McDaniel Talley have done a phenomenal job. I know I was lucky enough to eat there already. It's going to be the hot spot for many years to come. So let's bring Lisa, I think she's here, yep, on up here, and we'll accept this award with the mayor and Robin. And I can tell you their soft opening starts on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, and then the following Tuesday is their grand opening. So be sure to check that out. Thank you, Lisa. All right, our next award winner is the best continued use in an existing historic structure. And one little thing I just want to point out is a lot of these projects would not have happened without the Franklin Development Corporation, which is the FDC. I would say a good portion of these received some kind of funding or a grant. So Krista Linke was here earlier, but her and Ronnie and the mayor and our RDC who funds that, they're doing a great job, and without them, a lot of these projects would not have happened, including this one that got a complete restoration from its Art Deco heyday, and would like to invite Leslie up to receive this award. This was actually, they have historic offices upstairs, which are very cool in case you've never got a chance to see those. The owner of the Art Craft, actually his office is still intact upstairs. It's a mid-century modern masterpiece. All right, so give Leslie. All right, our next award is going to be another best continued use in an existing historic structure. In case you don't know what this is on North Main Street. It used to be red brick. And I think it used to have quite a few issues in more ways than one. And Chris and Pat purchased this property, and they did a phenomenal job of completely turning this neighborhood around. And I know everyone here has probably seen it, but it's just a wonderful job, and we need more people like them in town to keep renovating these properties. So we'll bring, I know at least one of the brothers is here, so come on up and get this award. And this is Chris, in case you didn't know. She did a wonderful job there. So the next one is the same, I could say the same exact thing again. So this is another apartment structure on Jefferson Street, But you might not have seen this one because of some road closures, but now the road's open, so go by and see that. This is right across the road from the Franklin College entrance, another facade grant winner, just like the last one. Lonnie and Tammy are both here. I believe you guys want to come on up. They've done a phenomenal job giving some nice modern touches while still respecting the historic neighborhood that's in it. So let's give them a round of applause. So I think we need these two guys to keep developing our whole department though, so they're doing a great job. All right, thank you. All right, our next award winner is the Natural Beauty Awards. This is thanks for the time. Joe Jurgensen's here tonight to accept that. She got the Natural Beauty Award just because she still has her wood siding. A lot of the original windows are still in the building. And a lot of it has to do with her wonderful landscaping and fountains and just things like that. So she did a wonderful job, complete restoration of the building, also another FDC project. So you want to come on up, Joe, and accept your award. Thank you so much. Our next award is the Little Charmer Award. This is one of my favorite projects in recent memory here in town. Mike and Carol Dale got this. It's another project that's used some FDC programs, I believe. They have done a wonderful job completely redoing this home. They're now working on the inside, and if we could get them to keep doing some more projects like this, I think it'll make the city an even better place than it is. So have them come on up. Let's give them a round of applause. City Council should love these projects because I'm sure they're adding a little to our tax rolls too. Thank you. All right, we actually have another Little Charmer Award. So if you don't know Karen Lucky, she did a fabulous job on this, restoring it what we would call the right way, using wood siding, keeping her original windows where she could. The inside is just as cute as the out on this house. She's a wonderful person. She did a great job on this. We'll have Karen come on up and accept your award. Thank you. All right, the next one is the Roof Award, which is the Restore of Old Franklin. This is being presented to Dwayne Richardson. I'm going to have Rob just speak a couple sentences about some of the projects that Dwayne has helped with here in town.
We don't give this award out all the time. It's just one of those where if the person is right, we choose them. And Dwayne has worked in so many different downtown buildings. He worked in the museum. He's worked from day one at the aircraft, and just on and on and on. And we just felt that it was time to honor Dwayne for all of his work in keeping these historic structures wired and safe. So come on up here, Dwayne, who is also wired.
I believe after we first purchased the Artcraft, there was a movie going on and Dwayne was in the audience and the theater went pitch black and he actually fixed the electric while he was there so the movie could continue. So great job, Dwayne. All right, and our last but definitely not least award, we started a few years ago. We named it after Kathleen Benice, who was the late Kathleen Benice, who was a total pillar of our community in the Hopewell area. We call it the Kathleen Benice Historic Farmstead Award. And as you can see from these three photos here, the Heck Hasler House, which is Vic Hasler and Karen Cochran Hasler, they have done a phenomenal job with this property. It's just endless gardens. He actually told me tonight that it might be available later on, we'll see. So if anyone's interested, talk to them. But they have done an absolutely amazing job with this property. They're very involved in our community and with Indiana Landmarks, which is the statewide preservation community organization. So without further ado, let's have them come on up. Give them a round of applause. And this is, if you know where Clark Elementary School is, which is a Wyland Elementary School, this is fairly close to there. It's a Franklin address, so it's just a beautiful property. So thank you very much. That concludes our awards this year. I would like to thank the mayor and our city council.
I want to add that we're a very fortunate city to be able to have done this since 1999. We have been giving out Preservation Week awards. Not many cities could do that. And to have given out the amount of awards that we did tonight is also outstanding. But if you look around this room, you have to think about the hard work, the dedication, the sweat, tears, and everything that was put into these structures. And now folks who are coming from out of town come in and see all of this amazing architecture. And I just think we are really a blessed community to be able to have folks like this who've invested in it in many, many different ways. And so this is the least that we can do to thank you. So we very much appreciate it. Yes?
I'd also like to thank Dwayne for rewiring all of our FDs, all new wire down there that we use. So thank you, Dwayne.
Yeah. So the power goes out on opening night. You got to blame.
So again, thank you for allowing us time to be able to do this, but the value to us and to the city is just immeasurable. So again, thank you so much for all of your attention. Thank you.
I would like to thank all the people that did all the work, because I'm telling you, this is what makes Franklin. And when people ask me what's so special about our town, this is what's special about our town. People like you that care and that want to bring everything back to its originality or better. So I'm just going to keep on because I'm kind of at awe right now. It's pretty awesome. This is a good time to be the mayor because of you folks. So thank you guys for that. Thank you. I was just kidding. You can leave if you want.
Thank you, Robert Dan.
Okay, is there any other announcements, presentations, public comment? Hearing none, we'll move on.
Move to approve the consent agenda as written.
I have a motion by Mr. Austin, second by Mr. Abbott. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we'll go to old business.
Move to read old business by title only.
Second.
Second by Mr. Agers. Common Council Resolution 19-06, approving a lease between the City of Franklin Redevelopment Authority and the City of Franklin Redevelopment Commission, and pledging local income tax revenues tabled from previous meeting. RDC Attorney Rob Schatzhall was not here, so Ms. Gray is going to take this one.
Yes, thank you, sir. And Krista was going to stick around too, represent this, but her son had an end of the year concert, and I said, I think I can handle this, because my request is going to be to table this. Let me explain, just give you a reason as to why. The actual document that you have all been circulated is about 34 pages long. If you've had an opportunity to read all the stages. There are also numerous supporting documents that go along with that anytime you do any bonding issues. I noticed when I read all those documents, I swallowed it, that took a great deal of time, that Rob had provided to me, that there was provision in there, and it's typical of these requirements that you pledge something to support the bond that we get, and that's very typical, very ordinary to do. In the way this was drafted, it pledged Jefferson Street, which is a state highway, so that is probably not appropriate for us to pledge a state asset to do those things. So I asked, and this again is the reason why I read things, and Rob also reads things, because I'm aware of the relinquishment agreement that was entered into, and how we got the jurisdiction of a full court. I knew that provision was in there, and so I reached out to Rob reached out to me, and I said, we really need to retool and come back. Concept's still the same, but we need to do it right so that we don't start out reaching a bond.
Lynn, I know that there was some time constraint issues, if this won't affect us at all.
No, not at all, no.
Then I move,
So the request from Mr. Shastall is to table this to the June 3rd meeting.
so moved.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second by Mr. Austin. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we will go to the
Mayor, I'd
next.
like to interject that when that was introduced at the May 6th meeting and tabled and then tabled again. And I also thought that this was time sensitive with the bond and the road construction segment. And if June 5th works, because that means it's gonna be somewhere in mid-August before you'll.
I asked specifically if we were okay with time, and Rob said it would be no problem.
Okay, well, I remember May 5th, it was gonna be the middle of July, so if we go to June, it's gonna be the middle and end of August.
It could be, and I think when you're working with the too, correct, on the agreement that we want to have in place before we actually.
Yeah, it's all, from our perspective, it's done, it's up there at NDOT. We can't do anything until we have an agreement with them too. That's been done for 2 months.
Okay, and I know that Mark Richards did speak to somebody in last week, I believe, who said they're getting close to their end of what they want to do.
Just bring up that if it gets done, we might have to have a special meeting if it's time sensitive, bring up, because whenever the road is ready to go, the design work has to begin.
Right.
And I'm just speaking from the RDC part.
So we don't have to advertise this with this being a resolution, like this is.
No, it's ready to act on it
Right.
we have bond council, we have RDC council, then you have NDOT's council, everything is there for them to approve. It's ready to act on when they tell us, go ahead, pull through, because everything's going to be in the right order. Yes, it will be ready for your action.
Okay,
That's all.
okay.
Mayor, I move to read new business by title only.
Second.
Second by Mr. Wertz. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, new business. Request permission to apply for Johnson County Community Foundation grant. Police Chief, Mr. Cochran.
Thank you, sir. I'm here tonight to ask for permission to apply for some grant money from Community Foundation. Be non-matching grant funds, no more than $15,000. We do have a deadline for a letter of interest that's coming up. That's why I'm here today. We want to utilize some of these funds to, we want to utilize all these funds for our drone program that we just started. Currently have one drone at the police department. We're looking to add at least one or two more. The rationale behind that is one that we have is many years old, it's outdated, just like every other piece of computer equipment we have. Secondarily, some of this equipment has infrared on it, it has all kinds of night vision, there's a lot of different things. Rather than take money from the budget, I was approached, actually by some folks at the Community Foundation saying, hey, we have this money and we're interested in parking it, and we're interested in that program. So it's a great opportunity for us to go after some dollars. So we're just asking to apply for those non-matching grant funds. We may or may not get it, but we're just asking to apply.
Chief, for these drones, police, they're designed specifically for, police use.
Right. all these, the two drones that we're particularly looking at would be nothing but police use. They do have some photography capabilities, some video, and some night vision capabilities.
I'm glad you asked that question, Councilman, because even though they're for police use, the technical term is unmanned aerial systems, because they are not intended to be spy use. And I think sometimes that gives the impression, but the police are often asked for assistance, locating a child, all kinds of reasons that would be, because the legislature passed new rules as of July 1st on how these things can be used. Chief Falconer has been very forward-thinking. His new SOP incorporates all of those rules. So there are many reasons to have an area.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering if it's like police use, so you can actually do live time, so something in the station can be recorded and
Yeah,
watched.
there's so much technology with this new stuff, and it's a much safer method of, we get someone on foot that runs from an officer, you have use of canine, but this is just a much safer way to get something in the air. We are limited by our own SOPs, what we can use it for. We can't just fly around town looking for, this and that, but on the same token, we'll use it when we need to use it.
But there are many emergency situations that are helpful to
And that's why I like about the infrared too, because especially like being able to find a young child,
Correct.
even
Right.
something.
Correct.
What do we,
You see, I want to say something smart, right?
Well, I do.
So you can't use it to track semis running through town.
I knew it was coming.
Mayor, you need a motion?
Yes.
Need a motion to move forward? Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I'm gonna give that one to Mr. Danny here. So Danny Richards with the second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Okay, there isn't any other business, so, Danny?
Nothing else time,
Danny?
Looking forward to some strawberry shortcake on Friday.
How about this road, since I'm looking this way? This works.
There'll be an RDC meeting in the morning at 8 a.m. at this location.
Ross?
Everyone have a safe holiday weekend.
Mr. Adams?
there is no, planning commission meeting tomorrow, and I'm getting my granddaughter, so she'll be in the audience for the rest of the summer.
Oh, good. Do you have anything to say?
No, sir.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Second by Mr. Austin, all those in favor?
Aye.